Back. I understand we now have Hillsborough Sheriff Chad Chronister. Sheriff, are you able to hear us?
Good evening. Yes, I am. Thank you.
All right. We appreciate you being with us. Dave Wagner along with Courtney Robinson. But let me just, first of all, ask you, Sheriff, give us an idea. What are you seeing out there right now? What are your concerns, and how are you folks having to respond to those concerns?
Yeah, my biggest concern is all this water already in heavily saturated areas, the heavy rain, the water, and the wind now that has continued to pick up. As you guys can see outside and you're getting these updates, these conditions have rapidly deteriorated.
And Sheriff Chronister, I know that you have been asking folks to shelter in place. Are your first responders also sheltering in place at this point? Are they still able to do anything out there, or is this a let's wait until this passes now?
Yeah, great question. We're quickly approaching that. We're quickly approaching that unsafe wind speed to where I'm going to have to suspend operations. The good thing is this county's so big that each commander around the county will make that determination. I don't think it'll be a blanket, hey, listen, we're not responding. But I know in the south end of the county is much worse than Lutz right now. So we're making those determination now, again, as these conditions continue to deteriorate. You mentioned evacuations. You guys were talking about people did heed the warnings. You're exactly right. You saw our highways full. You saw them using the emergency lanes. You saw the long lines at gas stations and grocery stores and supply stores. You know, I'm so excited. I was even out at the shelters earlier today. We have 6 shelters that are maximum capacity. We have over 15,000 people in shelters. We've never had that many individuals in shelters. That means people are taking this seriously, and that will also equate at the end of the day to less people being injured and even worse dying as a result of this storm.
That's a good point, Sheriff. And let me just ask you, because so many people are out of their homes right now, what are you going to be doing proactively? Because I know people are concerned about the aftermath of this and the potential for looting going on, people trying to take advantage of a bad situation.
Yeah, as soon as it's safe to do so and we're out, we'll be in those evacuation areas. We brought in additional 500 deputies to make sure we're heavily patrolling these evacuation zones. This is almost when, hey, we spring into action. This is what we're trained and prepared to do. We'll go out with our chainsaw teams when it's safe to do so and get the roadways open for other first responders and utilities that are on the way. We'll have our high water vehicles. We'll have our marine assets, our airboats, our amphibious vehicles, 3 that we now have, where we can go out here and start doing what we do best, and that's search and rescue, and that's making sure we're there to be that helpful hand in this greatest time of need. So we're getting prepared for that. We have our midnight shift last night that worked. We held them over, so everyone is here and prepared and ready to go out for this all hands on deck response.
Sheriff, you know, I'm sure that the men and women in the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, that they are also tired. You all have worked around the clock during Helene, and we had Debbie, and now here we are. What is your message to the men and women who keep us safe? What have you told them to kind of keep them, pushing them through? Because they also, you know, face losing homes as well.
And I've been out in the areas, and we were providing that safety and security. They were out in areas to make sure people who were salvaging weren't looters. We won't tolerate that here. God forbid we encounter the person that decides they're going to re-victimize someone who's already a victim of the last storm or this storm. We're not going to tolerate it. But I tell you what, they're in good spirits. I was out today checking with all of them over at Tampa Stadium, where a lot of our assets are around the county, and they're in great spirits, and they're ready to go.
Sheriff, can you talk about how you work, you interact with other agencies and how that process works? Because I realize it's a big county and you cover a big county. You only have so many deputies out there. Who helps you in this time of need?
Yeah, the Florida Sheriff's Association, we have a task force. So regardless of where that need is, they'll respond along with the deputies. We already have asked for more detention deputies. We've already asked for more dispatchers to come help us, marine assets. The Fish and Wildlife Commission has already sent 45 officers, and they're with us already, with their assets, ready to respond when it's safe to do so. We've also put in another request for another 500 deputies from around the state. So at this point, it's just it's going to be taking a look and surveying the aftermath, so we know exactly the numbers that we need, and those responses will be on the way. I've been in constant contact with the governor, with the lieutenant governor, about different utilities, about, hey, quickly as we can open up the port, not only will we be restoring power, we're going to make sure that we get the fuel to wherever it needs to be. Back in contact with the Highway Patrol, who did a phenomenal job of keeping the emergency lanes open and making sure people that wanted the ability to leave were afforded that opportunity to leave. And we'll do the same thing again about escorting fuel to the different stations throughout the state from the port to make sure, again, people can resume to some sense of normalcy as soon as it's safe to do so.
You know, Sheriff, for all of those who are listening right now and they are feeling that wind and they can hear the rain and just are really concerned as we start to get toward sunset, what's your message to them right now, to our community, and honestly, whether they're in Hillsborough or somewhere else in Tampa Bay?
As your sheriff, as a father, as a member of this community, wherever you are now, shelter in place. Please do not be out in these conditions.
Well, that's a good message, an important one. And I've been heartened, I don't know if you have been as well, Sheriff, in watching this. A lot of years in Tampa Bay, and saw a lot of people over the years not heed these warnings and not get out. But I thought it was terrific to see so many people taking this storm so seriously, because there have been times in the past when we just haven't seen that.
I'm so proud of this community, like we were talking about the long lines and the traffic, the fact that all the hotels outside of the evacuation zone in Hillsborough County are sold out, that many and a number of people in shelters. I'm so proud of this community and that they've heeded the warning. These deaths that we've experienced, more deaths from Hurricane Helene in the Tampa Bay area than where the storm actually made landfall, and it's because of the storm surge. This is too dangerous, and when it begins to rise and this flash flooding happens, you're going to reach out for help, and help's not going to be able to be there. And I can't imagine what that feeling would be like. But I'm so happy and proud of this community because there won't be those senseless deaths.
We certainly hope that there won't be. Sheriff Chronister, thank you so much. Thanks for allowing us to take much of your time this evening. I know you're busy.
Thank you both. Stay safe.
Yeah.